Hello, welcome. This is Blockchain Bloom, the blockchain educator. I'm Attila Pinkin. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what happened to Mantra token OMG. It crashed. It went down in 24 hours, more than 90%. Okay, but before that, let's talk about a couple of things about Trump's tariffs, because there are again new hopes, and then they just canceled and so on and so forth. The chances for the next rate cut at the FOMC meeting. Then we also have Trump signs resolution killing IRS DeFi broker rule. So guys, all this in today's video. And don't forget, every single day I'm bringing you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain Bloom to keep you up to date. So if that's important, simply just subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the like button if you like this kind of content. And now let's do it. Well, first of all, let's look at the market. So the market shows that Bitcoin hasn't really moved in the last 24 hours, but in the week, almost 10% back, right? Up. Ethereum about 4%, 3-4% up in the last 24 hours here. When we're looking at the top gainers, Flare up 10%, decentralized 7%, Radium 5%. So a couple of these tokens going up in the last 24 hours. But when you're looking at the weekly one, well, there you can see some nicer gains for sure. In the last 24 hours, obviously, Mantra OM token went down, but I'm going to talk about it. Then we have here JSY token 7% down and AB down 7%, but no major price drops on the market. So let's look at Bitcoin. This is the weekly, and the weekly is important because, we had this 50 moving average here on the weekly. And to stay above it and close above it the week, it's kind of important, because when you follow all this the line all the way back, you can see that in the bullish period, Bitcoin always stayed above it. So yeah, so basically we can see so far so good. Bitcoin holding itself pretty well with this forward, almost 40, 85,000, sorry, 85,000-ish. Yeah, here in the daily, you can see that actually we are hitting here two trend lines. They actually kind of joined each other, almost there at the same place. But the next level will be definitely the 200-day moving average. So the blue one, which you should break through and stay above it. But so far, at least, not dumping. But very, very important. This is a downtrend, right? So lower and lower highs and lower lows, as you can see. So if Bitcoin cannot make it, go above it here at 87 and go higher, stay above it, then it's not, a pivot for Bitcoin, and the downtrend continues. So it's very important to be aware of it. Now we could see a little bit, altcoins. This is not including Bitcoin and Ethereum. So they started slightly going up, but again, no trend reversal so far, right? We are in this folding wedge kind of. I can move this line a bit but still a folding wedge. But we are right here. So again, waiting for the momentum here. When you're looking at this is, not including the top 10. Also, here you can see that actually this is the trend line. We're touching it, cannot break above it and cannot stay above it. So we're still in uncertain times. And yeah, now let's talk about the things that Trump exempts phones, computers, chips from new tariffs or not. Let's talk about it. So actually on the weekend, Friday-ish, the news came out that actually Trump exempts phones, computers, chips from new tariffs. And is a positive things for companies, tech companies like Apple and the others. They're hoping for a nice opening on Monday. But on the other hand, there was something that the terms say no exemptions for iPhones and other Chinese-made electronics, suggest new tariffs coming. So uncertainty is really here. Yes, no, what is happening? Who's talking about this? Who is broadcasting it? It's a lot of noise out there, and therefore the market cannot really decide like which way to go. Something positive coming out, but does it stay here for a while, for hours, for days, even longer? Now we don't know, because the way they behave, they causing this kind of trouble, and because of this trouble, the market cannot really recover. It takes time, and sooner or later we find the bottom. I'm not doubting that, but this is now the present situation because of their communication. And yeah, when we're looking at here, the chance for the next FOMC meeting cut rates, now it went all the way down to 20%. So probably so far, when we're looking at this, no rate cuts on the 7th of May, but probably rate cut on the 18th of June. But these things can change. This was 50-50 not long ago, right? So this can continue to change. Okay. And then stay with Trump. Trump signs a resolution killing IRS DeFi broker rule. So Trump signs this one as well. It happened a couple of days ago. I'm just mentioning it now because it belongs to whole this Trump crypto thing. And the last video I made, it was on Thursday. So US President Donald Trump has signed a joint congressional resolution overturning Biden's administration era rule that would have required decentralized finance protocols to report transactions to the IRS. So the DeFi broker rule needlessly hindered American innovation, infringed on the privacy of every Americans, and was set to overwhelm the IRS with an overflow of the new fillings that it doesn't have that infrastructure to handle during the tax season. Bottom line is, this is what Mike Carey said, bottom line is that actually now all the hassle what the DeFi platforms supposed to do because of this, it's over. So it's much better for innovation probably. Right. Okay. And now let's move on to this Manta thing, because this is, everywhere in the news now, what happened to Mantra, to OM token. So yesterday evening, I do remember I was checking my portfolio when suddenly I saw that, Mantra started to go down significantly. And, people were saying here that Mantra is the new Luna, because really it went down like very fast in 24 hours, more than 90%. Look at this one here. Actually, we went all the way down here from there. So in 24 hours, more than 94%. So this is the kind of crash what we have seen, for example, back in Luna's time. If you were here and remember, Luna back then was the top 10 token. This was in the top 20, right? And that's really interesting what here happened. And basically, very short time, the token dropped from $6.3 to 50 cents. And, it's basically sheet of 90% of the 6 billion market cap. And there are several things all over the place you can find already what's happening here. But basically, there were like warning signs. First of all, when you looking at this here, this is the performance of the OM token. And if you're looking at that, it just goes up. And when we had difficult times, this went sideways. So when everything else went down, this went sideways, and then up and just sideways. So basically, we were just wondering here that what is happening, and then a lot of interesting things came out. The team was allegedly using market makers to keep the price up artificially. They quietly changed the token economics, and they kept delaying the promised community airdrop. So basically now they made a large deposit, not the team they're saying, but whoever owns, there was like a lot of mantras in kind of one hand, and went to OKX, that, triggered the worry. And then people started to selling, and then was actually saying that that was a OTC situation, that there's a rumor that they, some people could buy it privately with a huge discount, but with 50%. But then when the token price dropped more than 50%, they started to sell it as well. And the panic, and then as usually it goes, stop losses were triggered, leverage positions started getting liquidated, and so on and so forth. So basically, this is what happened here. Now it's very fresh now news. It just happened really yesterday evening. So we're waiting for the team has responded that everything is fine with the projects, is strong, but people are doubting it. Looking at this price performance, it's just not healthy. And it was, it's a real world asset project, so it's definitely a hot topic. I personally also entered into Mantra right here at 70 cents, and because of my strategy, I was kind of safe, because I could take out 4x on the way up, even if I went up to the top 12x, almost 12x. And yesterday I took out the rest because I was just saying that, okay, now I'm staying on the sidelines around here where the blue line is. So it was still like 100x for me from the start I invested. So basically I have a 5x in it, and I cannot complain, because I was a positive, but this is my strategy. Always take profit on the way up. We don't know these kind of projects, and I think this is a very, very important thing. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to say extremely bad things now about them, because I'm still waiting for the news coming out, but it looks shady in a couple of ways. And what we should understand, I think, in crypto, that we are at a very early stage, that there are so many projects, and not just like really shitcoins. Some of the utility tokens are also questionable. So we have to understand that crypto is still very early stage. At some point, it's still the wild, wild west. And this is the reason why I'm always saying that don't be like really degent and put all your portfolio in little altcoins and all these kind of things, because there are a lot of questions. Yes, I personally also, when I'm talking about small altcoins, back then Mantra was a small one. It came up all the way to the in the top 20. But back then, so I put really my 0.5% of my portfolio into Mantra. So nothing major happens to me if having something to the projects. And this is very, very important. And same with the little other altcoin projects as well. So if you hold a healthy chunk in the Bitcoin, you always have stable coins to jump in when there are good possibilities. Playing the top gainers like Solana and some others could be good. But there back then was the FTX scandal, and Solana was also impacted by that. And back then Solana wasn't a great investment, because then it recovered and the whole thing. So the whole crypto market is a roller coaster, and therefore you should understand, if you do not take profit, if you find a good token which goes up, you don't know what's going to happen to that project. So always make sure that you have a right balanced portfolio, and you're not all in these little ones always, because they don't even hold anything in the bear market. They more than 90% down back in that time. So it's very important. And this is another lesson. Even if it's a top 20 project, it still can go down more than 90% in 24 hours. Things can happen in crypto. Okay, so this was the most important thing I wanted to highlight. And yeah, if there are more new things coming out, I will definitely mentioning it. But so far, that's it for today. And don't forget, every single day, I'm bringing you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain Bloom to keep you up to date. So if that's important, very simple, just subscribe to this YouTube channel and also hit the like button if you like this kind of content. See you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.